Okay. And we're live. I haven't touched YouTube for a very long time, but I have to rework the last version of AGR to a new one. So I made a completely fresh project. I just imported some marketplace assets to make a very basic character class. And we're going to make some copy of mechanics from different mobile games that I recently, just by curiosity, downloaded and build new components in blueprints that's going to get translated into C++. So let's start. And I'm actually starting with one of the hardest ones. We're going to start with inventory and item component. And we're going to make them, of course, multiplayer. And I wanted to make a lot of changes to the inventory system that we created in AGR Pro. And I think that having a separate equipment system is unrelated, and it shouldn't be like separated into two different components. It should be just one. And I got like a ton of notes I made for all the changes I want to have and how I would like it to work in multiplayer. So let's start working on it. And I will put my notes on the other screen. And by the way, I do see the joint chat, so if anyone joins this stream, feel free to comment. I will try to answer. First of all, we want to disable tick. It's something it's very good not to forget. Second of all, we want component replicates auto activate, component replicates auto activate. It's not really much more we can do here. So sub object list. Oh, no, definitely not touching that. Okay. So let's start. Inventory ID. Now, inventory ID used to be a GUID. What we actually want for inventory ID is to be a string. And it's very important to be a string because we are actually using a lot of AGR with some Web3 technologies, and having things as strings means that I can use any kind of IDs to become inventory IDs. So on begin play, we can check if basically we are on the server. Okay, just do a authority switch. That's basically the same thing. Oh, I need to enable electronic notes. I got used to it so much. I can't work without it. Okay. I need to reset. Okay, I'll do it later. So on authority, on begin play, if this is empty, then if this is empty, we want to do stuff. We want to actually set a random one. And we can just do a generate a GUID, and we can convert it to be a string. And that's how we can always get a random inventory ID. It actually would be really good to have it as a function. So let's make it a custom event. Let's call it generate random ID, and that's what's going to be called here. Okay. I made that not a function, but an event because I want it to be called in editor and it is public. And it is non-replicated, although it should only run on server, but it's going to be called only from the server. Okay, it should be non-replicated. An inventory ID, of course, is replicated, and replication condition is actually everything. Yeah, everyone needs to be aware of the inventory ID. Do we need inventory ID to rep notify? Probably not. Okay, and I need to go to plugins. No, it's in the editor settings. There. Default color, thank you. And one more thing. Just drag without alt. Okay. No, there are actually people watching. Hi, guys. Okay, let's do a sequence. Okay, we got inventory ID, and we actually need an inventory ID is not that important. What is important is owner's ID. That's again a string that's going to be replicated. Public. Yeah, replication conditions, everything. Now we should check if inventory ID is empty, then generate. And probably we should do the same. Can we do by reference? Pass by reference. Okay, so that is a reference now. Set by reference. Oh, I can do that. Okay, great. So now generate random ID works on any string. So I can go here and I can actually do the same for owner's ID. And I have to pass this as reference. Yeah. Could probably put that in the function as well. So if this is empty, then generate. Is there a description? Oh no, in functions there are, in events they're not. So this cannot be called in editor anymore. Okay, so I can just do this and this. Yeah, the new AGR will support basically everything that is new in Unreal Engine 5, not only regard animation, but literally everything. So anything that was touching sound is going to be based on meta sounds, and animations are going to be thread safe. And we are also going to use K2 nodes. And we know how to make really cool mutable nodes right now. Yeah, owner if empty. Okay, and we'll be just setting out the owner. Oh, and this must be serialized for save game. This is also important. Okay, so we got inventory ID and owner ID. So we got IDs, and now we go. Okay, let me look at my notes. This is item related, item related. Oh, yeah, inventory limits. Now, we can easily set up a limit of weight, space limit or slot limit, volume limit. That might be relevant, and slots limit. And slots are usually integer. It's got float integer, and they are replicated and default are going to be -1. Or actually, because we're going to be using K2 nodes, I can do 3 bulls saying use weight limit. I can do use volume limit, and I can do use slot limit. Okay. Combo buffer. Oh, from the old AGR. Yeah, now with C++ we can actually do that, and we are thinking about that because buffering inputs is important. But actually, we're thinking if we should probably extend gameplay ability system. And if we expand gameplay ability system, we can make a graph method to build combos, kind of like combo graph for gas companion does. Now, those three don't need to be replicated because if someone changes them locally, we don't really care, and default is off, so there are no limits on anything. Okay. Let me look into notes. Okay, most of the heavy lifting is going to be done in the item component itself. So let's get here. Another thing is that I was thinking if oh yeah, save system as well, and we also have already a working global event dispatcher system that allows you to make like global notifications about events, which will be very handy for designing quests and tracking game states, other like larger range of assets. I was thinking, should a character have multiple inventory components for any actual reason? Like having multiple components means you might have multiple containers, but arranging items in different containers might be something. I mean, do you really need multiple inventory components to that? You could just have a container ID on the item itself, or by number of slot you might have items put in a separate container. So this is extremely game specific, so I was thinking that we should probably stick to a single inventory component instead of having multiple, because the old system had was designed to have multiple inventory components, so you can have multiple items in different like components, and then you can like drop an entire inventory or not. So okay, now we need actually a new asset which wasn't created before, and that's going to be an actor. It's going to be BP AGR inventory container. And container is a very specific class. It doesn't need tick. It is always relevant. It is not netload on client. It doesn't replicate movements. It doesn't need it. It uses, well, it doesn't use its owner's relevance. It's always relevant, actually. It is replicated. It's by default awake. It's always relevant, so it doesn't matter what's the distance. Net priority 1, that's okay. Minimum net, it's 1, it's more than enough. Oh, this is really interesting. I haven't seen that yet. Code for replicating, for replace, rewindable. Okay, this is all irrelevant. Definitely not. Yeah. No. Okay. So this actor is actually just an empty actor. It's going to be generated by inventory component when the inventory component initializes. So when this happens on the server, we want to init a container. So we want to spawn actor from class, and we want AGR inventory container to be spawned, and we want to get owner transform and just spawn wherever the owner is. We don't really care. Or you know what? We can even go as far I just spawn everything always at 0000111 and don't care about the transform at all, or we can just spawn where the character appears. Items are going to be hidden and invisible. You know what? We're going to actually expose it to a variable. It's going to be container default transform. Okay, and this is going to be in category config. This is going to be in category limits. This is definitely config. And doesn't have to be replicated. This actually has to be replicated only to owner. And that already saves like a lot of bandwidth. Because if we change the limit of the inventory, only the owner and the inventory manager, so the server, needs to really know about it. Everything else doesn't have to be replicated because the server will read its own copy of the value, so we don't care. Okay, so we want to spawn this, and we need to set owner. And the owner is the owner of this component. And we need to get its instigator, which is a pound object reference, and set as instigator. And if possible, actually we need to have controller. Oh, but this needs to be pound, and this is pound. This can be attached to both a controller and a pound. So it's a hard choice. Do we want to reference? Yeah, controller as an owner. I mean, owner tree of getting like what is the actual owner of an actor always gets down to a controller, so it doesn't matter. This is fine. Spawn an inventory container. Okay, and this inventory container literally needs an ID and nothing more. And that's just a string. And this needs to be exposed on spawn and replicated, and it gets replicated to owner only because we don't really care. We care about the inventory components ID to be replicated to everyone, and it is okay. So now we have this inventory ID, and we are doing this in sequence, which means that we already have inventory ID that we can just plug in here. Okay, and we have to store a reference to it. So container, and having this container, this is just a reference, and only the server is going to refer to it, so we don't care. We just have to just have it. Maybe we'll rename it references. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so we got this. And this is a direct object reference. So whenever we add the item to inventory, we're going to add them to this object. Previously, we were using player state, which is an absolutely phenomenal way to do it. But we need to have a player state that is blueprint class. Otherwise, it doesn't have a default scene root, so you can't attach actors to it. So it was falling apart for some people, and they thought that inventory is not working because they just were working in C++. Or create an equipment that gives more inventory. Well, basically, inventory and equipment are going to be one, because whatever is in equipment, we want to also be added to the inventory. It will be easier to manage items that are in multiple referenced objects at the same time. And we kind of can store the controller and pawn and the instigator pawn of our inventory, but we don't have to. Okay, so we need to create some functions now. Get all items. Okay. So to get all items, what we actually want to do, we want to just get container. We want to get attached actors, all of them. And we want to just get attached actors, not actors attached to other actors. Then we want to get owner. Get attached actors, whatever the owner is. Instigator. We want to see if instigator, so a pawn, we need to make sure if it's not equal to the owner. So it is not, so if the inventory is attached to something else, we want to check this. So get attached actors. And we want to actually make this a local variable saying items. So if it is not the same, instigator and owner are a different thing. So if it is true, we want to get instigator. If not, we want to get this. So we don't do this operation twice. Then we want to take everything that is in our container and we want to append with this array. And we want to do that in both cases. I want to say this, add this. Okay. I could probably do it once. Can I do a select option? Oh, I can do a select action. Okay. So I can do it like this. And I can select so this was, wait. If they're not the same, then take instigator. So if it's true, then take this. If it's false, then take this. Okay. And then always save it to this once. And always append this. Okay. It does the same thing as it did before, but it takes less space, which I really like about things in blueprints. And it's easier to read. Okay, so those are all attached actors. Now we have to actually filter them out. We need to get this, and we need to oh, let me see. Well, how did I do that? Unique append clear contains filter. Oh, okay. So this is filtering by class. Okay, I don't want to filter by class because I don't want to make AGR items specific class dependent. I want to make them universal. It can be any actor that just gets a component attached to it. So unfortunately, we need to do for each, which I hate. Um, but we will be able to make this loop and this entire function maybe even asynchronous in C++. So for each, we want to see to get, let's get tags. We can do actor has tag. I don't know why, but sometimes this just doesn't work. And we can just say that it has tag item, or we can say component by class, and we can see if it has an AGR item component. And just assume that everything that has AGR item component or has a tag is an item. Now, this is a lot cheaper action than this, obviously, because this has to go through all the components of an actor and see if it has specific components. So I don't want to do that. What I do want to do is I want to go here and go into constructor of AGR, no, not container, item. And there is no constructor, so begin play. So on begin play, I want to get owner, and I want to add a tag. Oh, okay, but I want to just get the tags, and I just want to add a tag called item. And for ease of updating all of those on everything, we'll make it a parameter. I'm going to say default item actor tag, and this is going to be config. And default is going to be item. So now item actor tag, we can I get defaults for AGR item component? Yes, I can. Okay, that's great. So now I'm going to take defaults for that class. So whatever I store in, like not an instance of a blueprint, but what I store in AGR items. So what I store here in the default is going to be checked in here. I'm going to say contains this tag. And basically, if it doesn't, I want to remove this index. So everything that doesn't that isn't an item but is attached to our actor. So any particle effect, any arrow that we got shot with that is not an item but a projectile or is anything else. I don't know, a parasite, another character, or whatever. We want them to exclude from this array. And once this concludes, we want to return already cleaned local variables called items. Okay, and there's a name collision, of course. Let's call this temporary items. And now it's okay. So this gets all items. So those are all items attached to our pawn or attached to our whoever holds the inventory. So potentially player state or player controller, and from our container that is the inventory itself. So this basically gets all items that are in both equipment and inventory. I don't imagine that we might have equip items that are not in inventory and not on our character. Like, where else could they be? But if there is a use case, let me know in the chat, please. Create equipment that gives more inventory. Yeah, like I said, you can just have even like a single container. You can just expand item component to have like container ID that will be just a integer, and then you can read this container ID and display items in specific place in UI. Because from gameplay perspective, if you have containers within containers and other stuff, it doesn't really matter. Like, you can still have one inventory. It's just how you display them to the player that is different. So we really don't care. Okay, we got this. Inventory container. It doesn't do anything. I can close it. The only thing that's relevant is to have the class defaults set for it. So it's like this. And okay, I can close it because it's confusing me. Okay, get all items. Great. Now, we want to have actions that we can call directly on items. And we probably want to be able to call the same actions by reference directly on inventory. Hi, yeah, I'm glad you like the concept of making a new AGR. So it will be like very updated. It will be similar to the previous one, but I had over a year to gather feedback from you guys. And I got like just a ton of notes of what can be improved. So yeah, it's like a lot. Okay. We have get all items. I want to. This is on the inventory. I don't have an idea what we want to do here. We want to go definitely here in the item component, and we want to have a function set pickup item. Equip item, unequip item, use item, drop item, and destroy item. So pick up item. Where should we start even? Okay, items need to be stackable, obviously. Stack count, which is integer, and we have max stack count. Like, can we have more than 21 billion items in a single stack? That would require integer 64. I think it's an overkill. It's an overkill, right? It must be. Okay, so stack count is definitely a rep notify. No, it's not. We're going to do notifications by hand. So this is going to be just replicated. This is going to be replicated. No, this doesn't have to be replicated because max count is never going to change. This has to be replicated to everyone or just the owner. Initial or owner. Yeah, everyone. Mhm. And let's for now just make a bool called stackable. And this is stacking, stacking, stacking. Uh, okay. No, never mind. Okay, so max stack count by default is 1, stack count by default is 1, and stackable by default is, let's say, false. And this is also not replicated. I don't imagine that item, like it is stackable or it's not. It should be configured in the item itself. Mm, Words can describe how much I'm glad to AGR. I'm using it in every project. Oh, thank you so much. Like we got a lot of really positive feedback from it, and I feel really bad for you guys that they haven't updated such a long time. We already got 5.3 and we are going to have 5.4 soon. And yeah, you guys deserve a new AGR that is truly updated and it's going to be a lot better than the previous one even. Okay, we got this stackable. So pick up item. Now, first of all, we have to check if it's stackable. If it's stackable, if it's not stackable, so we go to false. We just want to say that we want to pick up an item and we need to be picking up into inventory, right? So we need to have an inventory component link, and from it we can get container, and we just want to get the owner of this component, item component. We just want to attach attach actor to actor. And the parent of this attach actor is our container. We are keeping world scale, but rotation and location we are just snapping. Rotation we probably can keep world as well. We don't really care about that. No socket, so it just gets there. No wielding simulated bodies. There's no simulated bodies. And once this happens and we pick up an item, it goes into our inventory. What we also want to do is to get this item, and we want to make a new function called toggle visibility. I want to have an input and we want to say hide. Maybe we'll just call it hide item. And hide is a bool. So if we, now we can do it like this. Just get owner. We want to say set collision enabled to not hide. No, not bool. I have to start this one. Not hide. And we want to set actor hidden in game. Why can I set actor visibility? Render. Does hidden in game? Hidden in game is render. Okay, that should be. So hide, new hidden is this. Okay. So this basically hides or unhides item. So we go here, pick up item, inventory, and we're actually going to do a new thing, which we haven't done previously and will be very helpful. Hide on pickup. So if we hide on pickup, we want to get this actor and want to say hide, oh, we don't need reference, hide item, and we want to do this pretty much always. We want to start with that because we want to hide this item, and then if it's not, if it's stackable false, we want to just attach it. If it is stackable, then we are starting to do our stuff, which is going to be how did I do it previously? See. Oh, I will definitely do tutorials. Once the AGR is out, I'm going to do top-down, third person, first person. I'm going to do first person, both shooter and melee combat. I'm going to make a ton of examples. And in the new AGR, we actually want to tackle ballistics and some more advanced movements because we have an idea for a space game, pretty much. Okay, so we want to we need to go into inventory and we actually have to have more than get all items. We have to also have get all items of class, and we need to get all items of tag and get all items of gameplay tag, because item need to have both tags and gameplay tags. So it needs item type, which is a gameplay tag, and it also needs to have item tags, which is just string array. Unless components have tags, does it? Like actors have tags. Oh, component tags. Okay, never mind. We don't need item tags. Or people might forget about it, so maybe let's do that. Item tags. And those are both here. So again, on begin play, we do this, and then we say set tags. So we want to set our item tags to be component tags. Oh, this is an array of names, not strings. Sorry. Yes, change. Thank you. Yeah, now it works. And we have just this gameplay tag that is just empty for now. Okay, so get of items of class gonna be easy. It needs to have a input filter, which is class, and unfortunately it's just an actor class. Actor class reference, and I hate using references like this, like hard references. Should be passed by reference? No, it should not. Okay. Should I just copy logic from get all items? I mean, I can just get all items. I can filter them. Is that cheating? It kinda is. Oh, I can filter array. Okay, never mind. I can just do this. So that is fine. And actors self-classed actors as the filter. Only every derived from it will be returned. Okay, awesome. That's easy, and we don't even need uh, anything. Items. Oh yeah, just items. Like here, it was just items. Okay, so this is filtered. Now let's do gameplay tag. It's going to be, unfortunately, iterating. So that basically returns items of specific type, like weapon or armor or something like that. It would be great if we could just sort by types, like a single array, and just sort it out instead of having to call this function multiple times. But this is something we're going to engineer in C++. Kind of hard to do in blueprints. Yeah, long time no see. I was like really anxious to do a stream for a very long time. But I glad I finally did. And I was always finding new excuses. And also I'm swamped with work. I actually got a team now. I got a company, and we are making such an amazing game. We're not ready to showcase it yet, but it's weeks from being shown to public. So I'm not going to spoil it. But it's, I think it can be huge, really huge. Mm, mm. Type, get item type, yes. And we to say that it's exactly equal this tag. And this is not by reference as well, okay? So if it's exactly equal this not, we want to take, oh, we need to store it. Temp array. Okay, then from this temporary array, so if it's not exactly equal, we want to remove not item, want to remove index. So if this tag is not equal, so if it's false, not true. If it's false, if it is equal, we do nothing. If it is false, we remove it. Okay. It's faster than making an empty array and adding items to it. And return node, and we just want to take this temporary array and say items and return it. And last one, items of tag. We want to get all items, we want to promote to local array. And now for each in this local array, we are getting item component by class. And this item component, what we want to do is get owner, of course. Oh no, we need its tags. So tags. Do we need component tags? No, they are just in case. We can get item tags, and we can say has. No, we can just say contains item, and that's the tag to find. Okay, so if an item contains this, if it doesn't, we want to remove index. So if it's false, we want to remove this index and again return and local array, and we want to call it items. Okay, so we can get back to item component, pick up item, hide on pickup. Okay, by the way, default is true, and we want to make one more, auto stack, compile, default is true. So now we want to do an option, like we don't have to stack automatically, but if we are stacking automatically, we're going to get the inventory, we're going to get all items, and literally just, no, we're going to get all items of class, because the class is going to be this item, and this item is owner class. Okay, so, oh, and this is passed by reference. It's going to be actually faster this way. It's a slight optimization, but still. Okay, so it refers to this class. Oh, more questions. There's an update. There will be an update really soon. I would say I'm like week away from finishing the prototype, and then we're going to transfer it to C++. And we're making a very large scale multiplayer with multiple game modes, which means that a new AGR needs to be extremely scalable and performant. And there's going to be also new animation nodes like procedural walking, procedural aim offset. You won't have to do all the setup I do in all the tutorials over and over again. There will be a single node. You will just say, yeah, I want procedural aim offset, and it will just work. Yes, there will be Epic Store download, and it's going to be free. It will continue to be free, even though it's like a huge improvement. Okay. So now we are incrementing stacks for items that we are picking up. So we have, when we start doing this, auto stack. If it's false, then we actually just do this and we just attach to the container. But if it's true, we need to get all items and we need to start with the first of it. Okay, and we want to do it like this. Before we start, we need to have a stack count. We need to get it, and we have to promote to local variable called stacks to pick up, because this is how many stacks we need to add to something. So now for each element, we want to get component by class. You know what? I'm going to make a library. No, it's going to be faster. Game, no, blueprints, function library. Yes, AGR library. Get item component. input is item actor. Let's do it real fast. Get component by class, and it's item component. Yes, and you just return it. We're not checking if it's valid. You can check if it's valid if you try to get it and it's not valid. It's not my fault. Well, let's make it pure function. And another one, get inventory component, and it also takes actor, and from this actor we are get component by class, and it's inventory component. You know what? Here we are going to check if it's valid. No, we're not. We could check if it's valid, then take this actor's owner, and then we can get this actor's instigator, and then we can get this instigator controller. And from this controller, we can get player state. Right? Oh, no, not this one. Get player state. And we could like check if any of those have this component and just return until we get a valid one. Okay, let's do it. Ah, yeah, we probably should. That's annoying. But making a fall off like this, I hate it. But yeah, we'll just checking first this. If it's valid, we are returning this. Inventory. Oh, and here it's not return, it's item component. Inventory component is the inventory, so I leave it inventory. Okay, if it's not valid, then we want to see if this is valid. The programmers that are working with me are going to kill me once they see that. So if it is valid, then we want to check this. No, we want to give this, and then we basically do the same everywhere here. And we want to return empty if it doesn't exist. So if this is valid, you go here. If not, then if this is valid, then you go here. If not, then you check if this is valid and you go here. If not, then you check if this is valid, go here. And if not, then you check if this is valid, go here. And if nothing is valid, you don't go anywhere. Okay. So get inventory, get item. We don't need to get equipment because equipment is inventory. Now it's going to be easier here. We can just get item component like this. Oh, and this is pure as well. So for this item component, we want to get stack get stack and maximum, and this is how much we can actually add. So we just measure that. We know that we can add this amount, and stacks to pick up is this. So we want to always do and say okay, is stack to pick up greater than what we can add? If it is, then we're gonna have to do this loop again and again and again. If it's not, we are just going to say stack count. We can just set by reference. The value is stack count plus stack to pick. We just set it by reference if it's not greater. And we can say stack to pick is equals 0 because we just increased this stack for this item, and we can break the loop. And actually move the break of the loop to the bottom. What? Why does it? Do this weird thing. Never mind. But yeah, we break and we're done. We have added items. And we need an event dispatcher which says, oh, this is item component. No, so we need this event dispatcher on the inventory. Inventory need event dispatcher to notify us locally that we have picked up items. Items updated. And basically this needs to have an input which gives us a reference. Where did I? Oh, here it is. Okay. So items is an actor object reference array. Can we I'm thinking about how to manage that in multiplayer. That's gonna be oh, that's gonna be terrible to work on multiplayer. Yeah, I'm back. And yeah, a lot of familiar faces. Okay, we're doing this, but if not, then we have to go through this again. So basically, we want to set by reference to just max count. And we want to set stack to pick. To be self. I mean, I can do like this to be self minus. We can add. So this temporary value that we added here, but we already increased this stack. So that's why we were saving this. So this is how many we could add, and this is how many we have added. And we maxed out the stack. And we go through the loop again. Okay, so that should work already in theory. And that's something we can already start testing. Okay, let's do that. I can actually use this game mode. Let's do the testing game mode. Let's have a testing player character. I'm not going to bother with even adding any animations. We can add a mesh. We can add like this guy, and we can say -90, -90. Was it here? Where was the capsule half size? Oh, it's here, yeah. 90, 28. Okay. And let's go to character movement components. Let's leave it at default. The only thing I would change is the rotation, orient rotation to movement, and I want to disable rotation of the actor. Yeah, this one. I want to disable it for this class. Okay. I need inputs. Input action will be basic directional movement, and we need mapping. Input mapping underscore testing, and we need pick up items, or we can pick up items by clicking with mouse. It's going to be fine as well. And we just need mouse events for that. We don't even need action mapping. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so this is trigger type, doesn't matter. W is moving forward, S is negate, A is swivel input axis, and D is swivel input axis, as well as negate, I think. EM testing. Okay, where is my testing character? We want to get controller, and we want to add input mapping context message. Mapping context is this. Oh no, we want input subsystem. How did you register input? Oh wait. Oh, because it has to be player controller for it to work. There it is. Now open. Oh, there it is. Register. Jesus, sometimes I just add mapping context. Sometimes I just forget the most basic things. Okay, so this is in the player controller. Awesome. The character is somewhat visible. This is the game mode. So let's see. We just hit play and I forgot to add the camera. That's bad. Okay. Um, yeah. Spring arm. Awesome. Uh, yeah, cool story added to mesh root. Let's offset it. Um, I want to add the camera. And don't know why it is like this. Okay. Uh, okay. Can I move? No, I can't move. Oh, let's see. Mm, mm. No, no need. Did I register it wrong in the controller? I probably did. Didn't I? Ugh. Definitely not watching the new anime solo leveling. Definitely not. That wasn't it. Mm, let's check the documentation. How the hell did you register the mapping? Yes, yes, yes. You do this, of course. Great. Setting up input on an actor. Uh-huh. Okay, useless. Oh, what what am I doing? I turned off my brain completely. Yeah, how do I test if mappings are working? I think they are set up correctly. I just didn't hook them up to do anything. Literally anything. Um, input action underscore basic direction movement. That's it. That could be useful. And we got two axes. So what we want to do is we want to get forward vector. Mm, get actor forward vector. Get actor right vector. Come on. Get actor right vector. And we want to then multiply this vector by this input, and we want to multiply this vector by this input, and we want to then add those both vectors, and what we want to do is add input vector to the character movement component, and this is non-force for non-simulating actors. uh, oh, that's not gonna work. That's gonna work terribly. I could show you. Forward, backward, yeah, going to do this all the time because I'm taking I should be taking world space vectors if I want it to work like I do want it to work. So I shouldn't take this vector and I shouldn't take this vector. I should just make vector that is 1, that is 1, and it's multiplied by those. So those are just two directions. And now, oh, this is world space. Okay, and last thing, spring arm uses spawn control rotation. It doesn't inherit from the owner. So now I'm not doing anything with the controller. Okay, so I want to have camera relative to my controller. So I can just get control rotation and I can split and I can use just, I think, no, I need to, wait, no, get control rotation. This should work. No, default is 0, 0, 0, so it doesn't really change anything. I can just get controller, I mean camera, forward vector and right vector. And now my input is going to be relative to the camera. If I rotate camera, I'm going to rotate my inputs. Yes, now it is correct, except here in this I was supposed to do here negate and here none. And now it's forward, backward, left, and right, because left is negate, right is standard. Okay, so we got this character. Let's maybe put the camera a bit more further, 600. And we'll be able to do something with some items and pick up something. So we need a test item. Okay, let's make a folder called items. And we're going to have a test actor. Actor, we're going to go BP test item. Test stackable item. Okay, it's going to have item component. And in this item component, we're going to say config, item tag is item type is, we're going to need some tags. Oh, no, match tags. And we want to add item utility or miscellaneous misc test item. Let's do it like this. And source is going to be here. Okay, misc test item. Okay, we got a tag. Let's use it. Okay. Okay. Test item stackable. Oh, and you can just say container one here, and you can then match by tags into different containers. Say stackable, max stack count is 10. And actually, if I go into item component, I need to go into stack count and expose it on spawn as well. Okay. And here we also have to add a cube, which is just a cube, and let's make it like 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, so it's a bit smaller. And we want to place a few of those cubes in the world. Okay, and let's have few of those. Okay, item component needs to do one more thing on begin play, which is super crucial. So it has to do first manage tags. It also has to manage owner replication settings. So we need to set, how is it called? Use owner relevancy. Yes, we want to. Okay, that's it. Actually, that's it. And on pickup, we need to do one more thing. We need to, when it gets picked up, oh, okay, it's not over. When it gets picked up here and added to a container, this owner need to be set owner, which is a different owner. It's like actor's owner, and its owner is the owner of this inventory. I know it sounds crazy, but it makes sense. And its instigator, set instigator, has to be this inventory owner's instigator. So this is crucial for relevancy management and for multiplayer reasons. So get owner is like getting the item itself, and this owner is getting the whoever holds this inventory component. Okay, we do this, we do that, we increase stacks. So if we increased all the stacks, we have to do one more thing before we are actually finished with this function. We have to on complete say if we still have local variables, stacks to pick up, if it's still greater than 0. So if it is 0, like we said here, and we down the break, eventually, then this should be 0 and we are good to go. We don't have to do anything. But if it's false, what we need to do is actually spawn actor from class, and the class is, well, oh yeah, because we need to destroy this owner. Oh my god. Get owner and destroy actor. We're gonna have to do this once we are managing stacks. So in this case that we have broken and stack to pickup is not greater than 0, so it's false. We want to get owner and we want to destroy actor. Because we're not doing anything with this actor. But if it's true, we actually don't need to create new item. We can just do this. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. Yeah, we can also by name call any local variable that is here. So I'm not going to drag those snakes all the way there. It's actor component, okay. Get owner of inventory. And because this is a repeating process, this is not part of it. This is, I can actually collapse this to a function. Okay, but this needs reference. Collapse to function, set items no, not relevancy, ownership. This is inventory. And what is it returning? Oh, definitely doesn't have to return anything. Yeah. What was connected here? It was the get owner. Okay. And this is helper function, internal helper. And hide item is also internal helper. And on rep stack count, we are going to call item updated, and this is going to just take object reference, but single object reference. Sorry about that. So we want to go here, and every time okay, this is a lot cleaner now. And this is a lot cleaner as well. Oh, I can do it like this. Okay, and every time this happens, we also have to get inventory, and we want to call this event dispatcher. Call item updated, and the item that got updated is our owner. Same goes here. We're saying it got updated, but same goes here. So doesn't matter if this was, or this happened. When it happens, we need to, oh, no. Wait. I would make something terrible. It should happen here. Ah, okay. Now we need to know this item belongs to which inventory, because on rep notify of this, we need to have this call. There's no target, there's no item. Inventory. Okay, so we need to, we don't want to hold reference to inventory. We don't want to hold reference to inventory that is by reference as just a reference. So what we want to say is we want a variable which says inventory ID. And we need item ID. Owner ID. Oh, and all of those are not arrays. And are strings. They need, ID, item ID is also string. And not this. And we need also item info in a second. So we'll need item name, item icon, and other stuff. Okay, but first we need to set inventory ID, and then we need another helper internal function. Item actions. We can pick up, equip, unequip, use, drop, and destroy. Okay, set item ownership looks like a great place to set up item ownership. So we have already inventory object reference. That's great. So we can get ID. Actor component object reference. Oh, okay. We want it to be inventory component. This should compile without issues. Yeah, this won't, of course. Don't worry about it. In a second it will. So we want to get ID, inventory ID, we want to get owner ID. And for this item, we might don't want to set owner because we might have items that are stolen. So item ID, inventory ID. We don't want to set item ID, we want to set inventory ID. Inventory ID, not interior ID. Okay, should the inventory ID be replicated? Well, yes. But only initial owner. No, we need always to replicate inventory ID. Okay, so we do want to set this inventory ID. And what should we do with the owner? Oh, and we're gonna have to do one more thing with item IDs because here on pickup, we are stacking based on class again. but we should actually stack based on class and item ID. So you might have a class which is just a very generic class for craftable item, like craftable resource, but dynamically at runtime you might generate absolutely different items that are of the same class but are actually different, and you don't want them to stack exactly the same. So we're going to check ID as well. Mm. Okay. Mm. Set item ownership. Should we? Yeah, we probably should here also. We have the inventory ID. Okay. So once we have inventory ID, I can go here and I can say get actor with tag. Okay, I can get all actors with tag. Can I get all components? With tag. Because I want to have all inventories. How do I get all inventories? Oh, of course, get all actor of class. And what I need is inventory container. So if I get all containers for each, I can just get ID. I can compare if it is exactly our ID. What? Utility equals exactly string. Okay, cool. I don't know why that didn't work. And it is exactly our inventory ID. So if it is, we got ourselves our container, which is great. This container has it should have inventory component reference, because that's our easiest way to get a direct reference to a component. Let's go here. Inventory component, inventory container. Yeah, it's just got ID and inventory reference. And this is inventory component. Direct object reference. Okay. And those are not config, those are internal. So no one should touch them. And this is also expose on spawn. And inventory component. What? What? Fail to find a class member to match inventory ID. I'm sorry, what? Okay. Um, Weird. Mm, okay, this is actually internal. Mm, uh, get all class of this, this. If you want to, then we get this. Get inventory reference, and all this we should collapse to function, and we'll call it get my inventory component. Okay, so it on true returns this, and on false it should return oh, for each with break. Yeah, we don't want to continue this loop once we find it. Uh, mm, mm, okay, so if it's true, this inventory ID is our inventory ID. If it's true, then we do this and we do a break. Oh, so close, and we can test stacking. And once it's completed, we want to just return this. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now on the ref notify, we get reference, and we say to this reference that our owner as an item got updated. Okay. I see. So I have to go here, 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 not passed by reference. Yes, that's the issue. Yeah, that was the issue. Okay. And now this compiles. Okay. Oof. Mm. Mhm. If it contains true, then remove. No, if it contains false, then remove. Why was it like this? Uh, this is get all items, so it's used here. Let's look. Yes. Tags contains false, then remove. Yeah, okay. Gameplay tag. If it contains false, then remove. Yeah, okay. Ah, like so many things I have to do blindly before I even test anything. Uh, okay. And of course, I have to do everything already um, in multiplayer because why not? Okay, we're setting ownership, IDs. I think that's everything. So last thing. So when I'm doing the pickup item, mm, 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 mm. If stack to pickup is greater than 0, then we are still doing this, but we haven't done one more important thing. We need to set stack count to stack to pickup. Okay. Okay. I think that's everything with rep notify, notifications and everything. So now in our testing character, we can add inventory. Okay. And on this inventory, on item updated, what we want to do is want to print string and we want to print text and we want to format that text. I want to say item name was picked up or was updated um, stack stack by stack max. Oh, okay. Get item component stack count max stack get stack. Okay, and name will be just this actor and print for like 10 seconds. That's it. Whenever an actor is updated, we just want to print. Okay, so now to have those items possible to get picked up, the fastest way to do it is going to go here, items, go to that item. Let's say that we want them all to have, let's go to constructor, set stack random integer in range and between 1 and 10. Oh, between uh, 1 and max. We're going to just set up a random amount and just execute it. So each of those, if I look into details, I see that stack count is 10. Here stack count is 9. Here stack count is 4. And here stack count is, oh, I checked this one already. Oh, it's 10 twice. Let's change one of them to like 6. Okay, we got different stack counts. Let's save it. And we need to handle picking up. Okay, let's close this. Let's close this. This this for now. This definitely. Those three. Let's just focus on those three. So first of all, we want to have mouse hover. Well, how did it? Oh, replicate and replicate, use and .NET load on client. And oh, in the controller, I guess I have to set it up. Player controller, mouse events, show mouse cursor, enable click events, enable mouse over events. Click event is left mouse button. Okay, that's it. And now here we want to say mouse hover. Okay, no, wait, I just here on touch event, touch leave, cursor over. Okay, begin cursor over. No, we just need click events. I don't need for cursor over. Act wrong clicked. That's it. I don't care. I don't care for the button pressed. I just want to say pick up item when it's clicked. By who? I want to get picked up by get player pawn. Get inventory. Hide on pickup auto stack. Thank you. So on click events, I should already have working like this. Pawn already has inventory set up. It doesn't use any limits. Inventory ID will be random. Okay, let's see. I have this guy. So I got our inventory container. It doesn't have inventory ID, so that is upsetting already. Testing character. Let's see our inventory component. No ID was created. Why? On server only. Has authority, yes. So this didn't trigger? And why is that? Host or not? Maybe I have to do is server for it to trigger properly instead of has authority, which is weird. Like I'm testing single player, am I? I should be. Yeah, standalone. Inventory component. That's the one. Begin play. What if I always do it? Uh, oh, I think it did tick. Nope. What? Why? Wait. Maybe this didn't trigger properly. Yeah, it did two hellos. So this was triggered, and this string by reference didn't set. Ah, okay. Maybe because it's replicated? Yep, I got two random ones now. So now, if I go here, I have this inventory ID and I have no owner's ID. Okay, why I have no owner's ID? Oh, of course, that's why. Come on, stop. Don't crash. Did it crash? It might have crashed. No, it didn't. Okay. Of course. Why would it save? Like if I set inventory ID here, like this, uh, generate random IDs. Yeah, just have to make a sequence and do the same for owner. And owner ID is exposed on spawn. Yeah, now we just need one. Generate random IDs if empty. Okay. Let's see. Oh. Refresh node. That was weird. Okay, now I got two IDs and they should be properly set. Okay. So I should be able to click and my inventory container got a new item. 8 stacks stackable. Okay, great. Okay, it got just updated. It got 10 stacks instead of 8. And this one got how many? 6. So I got 16 now. I got 17 now. Okay. 17, 20, and 2, 22. How many items there are actually? I didn't pay attention. 8. Okay, there is 1, 9. So that is correct. Plus 5, 16. Please make it before. Okay, so it's 24, not 22. Something is wrong. Okay, where is my test actor, test item? On click, I want to first, before I pick up item, I want to print string, no, print text. Uh, Ah, okay, have to do it like this. Format text. Paste it here. Yes. Okay. Now. Okay. Let's connect it like this. Because I'm apparently bad with math. So we got 4 and we got 4. That's great. This should add 1. Oh no, it added 4 as well. Okay, so that's 8. That's actually correct. And 7. So that should be 15. Yep. Okay. And 8. 15 and 8, 23. Oh, okay. I know what's happening. When I hit the start button, the constructor triggers on those boxes and they get randomized again. Oh. Okay, I was worried I may be counting them, but no, the stacking works. So stackable items works as designed. And actually, this is already improved in compared to the previous version, because previous version always destroyed actors and created new ones when stacking. And this one is actually pulling the old actor that we are picking up and using it as the final stack, instead of always destroying and creating. So it's now assuming that your stack is never higher than multiple stacks of one thing. Okay, so we got this. Let's make a very dirty test and just say on keyboard 1, want to take inventory, want to do format text, and we want to do get all items. And on get all items, we want to say count. I want to say count items in inventory, inventory ID. On to button, we want to get all items, get all items of gameplay tag. I want to get off tag test item. I want to do the same. I want to make literal gameplay tag this tag connected here and to debug string from gameplay tag like this. Okay, and on 3 key, no, this keyboard event 3, 1, 2, again, get all items of tag, and the tag is make literal name, and it's going to just say test, and we're going to do the same. And last one, and the last one is getting the inventory, get all items of class. And I just found items of class. Okay. Here, get of all items of class, and class will be, of course, our test box. Now, how did we call this actor even? It's test stackable item. Okay. And we're just going to see if it is aware of it. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Let's pick up those items. And it should say basically 3 for everything. 3 items in inventory in general, yes. 3 items in inventory with tag, yes. 3 items with game, okay. And yeah, so for now it works. Once we add more item types, stackable and unstackable, we can run those tests and see if they don't break. But so far so good. Okay, I'm gonna take a break for the evening, eat something, and I'm sitting down tomorrow morning to continue working on this. So if you guys want to join me, any feedback and ideas would be really welcome. Like what you would like to see from the AGR inventory, what you would like to see like as part of this entire framework, maybe something new. I'm keen to know what you guys think. So thank you, and see you tomorrow, hopefully.